Good blessed evening to all human beings all around the world. Today is Wednesday, June the 24th, 2020. Time being about 4:50 p.m. 2020, time of the vision, time to change, time for people to wake up, time for people to take a look at their surroundings. Time for people to stand up, especially in the black community, stand up against this injustice. I got a text from a few people from Chicago, because we kind of like look at things global wide as far as the current events. I believe this is the seventh individual they found hung. I guess is one that they found hung in New York on the 22nd of June 2020, just recently. And the reason why I'm mentioning it is because most of, if not all of them, with the exception of one, was a Spanish person, and they claiming them to be suicide. It's strange that, black and Spanish people with all these things going on, that they are being found in wooded areas, hung. The reason why I'm mentioning that, I'm gonna take you back to the year 2000 down here in Mississippi County, in the Boot Hills, southeast Missouri. In 2000, at the time, about 5 black guys came up missing. One was kind of like tied with a black guy. A few of them was dating white females. And all 5 of them, when they came up missing, when they was found, they was dead. Found in the grain bins. Found in ditches. And the reason why I'm saying that there is because back then, a white individual told me that he called me the N-word, and he said he'll put a bullet in my head and they'll find me in a wooded area. And to me, that was a hate crime. You see what I'm saying? That was a threat. It was all because he seen me talking to a Mexican female that he was dating, but I worked it at a truck stop, talked to a lot of people that come in and out, male and female. He was driving 18-wheelers, and his boss was renting out the mechanic shop right across from Pilot, where the new McDonald's is on Highway 105, right off of I-57 here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. So both of us had legal grounds to be on the particular property. But anyway, I called the police. Hey, now, try not to make too much noise. Okay. But I called the police. Charles police sergeant came in, a white sergeant came. The guy had left, but his female friend gave him all of his information, Social Security and everything. Now remember, he called me the N-word, and at the time, blacks was coming up missing. And I'm leading to something. With them hangings, I started off with the hangings, and that's why I'm coming back to that in a minute. But they never called me for court. She had to tell me that he finally turned himself in. And I found out a few years later what the disposition of the case was. The disposition of the case was they let him plead guilty to trespassing. He wasn't trespassing because both of us had a right to be on there. He wasn't barred off of there. He threatened me. He called me a nigger and said that he'll put a bullet in my head and they'll find me in the ditch somewhere. They go to show you a history how they treat me in my household. But now look, just recent, on my YouTube, just recent, this year, the last month or two, one individual came on my YouTube now and told me that they had a tree with my name on it. Now you remember now, back in 2000, they was finding black men dead, especially some that was dating white women, dead in grain bins, but they never solved none of them murders. And you can guess why. But now, here it is, in 2020, individuals getting found hanged in wooded areas, by schools, by libraries, and all of them been black except one, which they said was a Spanish guy. Now, tell me this. Here it is, somebody said that they got a tree with my name on it. When they said they got a tree with my name on it, what do you infer from that? That they may be trying to hang me. You see, now here's another one made a comment that said, I should have grew up in the 60s in Alabama. You see what I'm saying? And then mentioned me talking about the sheriff. Now last year, in the special election, I voted for this guy here, Brent Farrell. Let's get a good look at it. Brent Farrell. He won. He was running against Keith Moore. I decided I was going to try for change and see what Brent Farrell would do if he came into office. But he showed me better than he can tell me what he'll do. After he won the special election in 2019, January the 29th, in February, him and his wife invited me and my two daughters to their church here in town. We went. Then a couple of times, my daughters and them went to their little program that they had for children. They asked to let them come. The first day my daughters and them went, they was filling the place. The second time they went, they was playing a game. I guess it was tag or something. They was supposed to be partners. Each person had a partner. And then if you touch one of the other two partners, y'all got to all join together. My daughters and them was touched, but they refused to join together with my two daughters. Then they went into a room after that where the girls was in one room and the boys was in another, and they had video games. I guess it was Xboxes or something like that. And by my two daughters being the newest two there, they showed them better than telling them that they didn't even ask them, did they want to play? They played for the whole duration. Hey now. And since my daughters and them were just sitting on their table, at the picnic table or table that was inside of the place, they had their phones, so they was trying to mind their own business. Hey now. But here come one of the other white girls. Since they didn't want them to play these games, she laid across the table while they was there. Now show me that's respect. But I told Brent Farrell about this in February of 2019. He said, well, I didn't know that. But never once did he tell me, let's take my daughters up there and try to see what went on. You see what I'm saying? Never did. We never went back to his church. They never went back to that program. Why would I send my children there? When I send them there, I'm feeling that y'all gonna treat them right. But you didn't. I I don't put it on the teacher. I put it on the people that invited us to come there. The present sheriff and his wife. Now his wife don't know nothing about it, I don't assume, but Brett Farrow did. And when I brought it to his attention, he never said anything again. Then what he ended up doing, he came about 13 months later, maybe close to 14 months later, right out here in March, I believe it was, and my daughter's name was in the driveway over here playing music, and I was speaking to one of my neighbors, and then I looked and seen him. I went in my driveway, I didn't say anything to him. Then he asked my daughter's name. He didn't ask me, he looked at me right in the face. He didn't say, Raymond, you don't talk to me anymore. But he asked my daughters. Why would you ask my daughters that and you just seen me? You see what I'm saying? Why would you ask my daughters that? When my daughters and them told me what he said, I asked him what he wanted. And then I asked him, how you doing? He asked me how I'm doing. I said, I'm blessed by the best. And I left. I didn't have no conversation for you. You see what I'm saying? It's re-election now. Haven't heard nothing else since from him. When I was voting for him, I never had no comments like, we got a tree with your name on it. I didn't get these letters in the mail, these threatening letters like I got in the mail now. I didn't get all this here hate stuff until I'm voting against him. Keith Moore didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? Brent Douglas in East Prairie, who's the captain on the police force now, smartest thing him and Higgins could have did was left the Charleston, Missouri Police Department because they would still been officers. They left as officers, and one is the chief and the other was the captain. I didn't have no hate about them. They come by when they see me or they see me in court, we speak. But my point is, now all of a sudden that I'm voting against him, that show you where the racism come, just like next door. Next door, the female, now she done changed her name to Fat Lives Matter. She want people to feel sorry for her. Hey now, want people to feel sorry for her. When she came on my page saying it was brought to her attention that I was videoing her house, I gently told her I was videoing Brent Farrow because I'm showing that he don't normally come down here, that he stopped and questioned my daughters and them when he should have questioned me, and then told her the history on it. I said, I wasn't videoing your house. You see what I'm saying? I had security cameras up before you came. But then, you know, she made it be seen, she made it be known, it came out that she said she had pre-notions about me before she even moved here, because she said it and it's documented that before she moved here, she said, people told me about him saying that you shouldn't move around him. You see what I'm saying? Don't nobody else stay around him. But the individual that lived with her, his family know me. They didn't say the same thing. Matter of fact, they told me their son is moving next door. He's a quiet individual. He is, but she ain't. She's a shit starter in the black community. You see what I'm saying? She invited me to come over there when she got to saying, when me and the brother made up, me and another black brother made up so it wouldn't be no killing in the black community. Here's a white female that ain't been here 2 years, barely a year, getting in our business saying, well, he got knocked out at Boomland for running his mouth. I told her, why don't you try it? That's what I told her. Why don't you try it? You see, then she tell me, come over there. I ain't gonna come over there. That's what Brent Farrow and Chief Hearns and the rest of them people downtown that all of them go to the same church. That's what they want me to do, to get rid of my voice. But I'm gonna leave it at this here, y'all. I don't care if a white woman is going with a black guy or not. They still can be racist. My next door neighbor, she changed her name now from Sarah Ann on the YouTube to Fat Lives Matter. And that's what she should keep it about. fat lives and fat mouths and shit starter mouths. Peace be still.